Hello everybody, this is Ordaehn. This will be the first of quite a few replays that I'm going to be narrating here. This is a platinum level game between me as the Zerg and PPC, who is the Protoss. I'm going to speed things up here just slightly to get past the initial. I don't really have anything else to say until the game gets started. We're on Kulas Ravine. On this map, especially against Terran, but against Protoss as well, since some people do tend to rush for sentries and stalkers. My Overlord is not going to get to somebody's base fast enough, so I like to send it right over here to the side. What I did here, as you can see with my resources, I did the extractor trick, and then I sent one of those drones out, so I keep 10 on my minerals and send the other one out. Had problems with people cannoning me lately. There seems to be a lot of people from StarCraft 1 coming in to try to cheese, and for that reason I put my second Overlord out here and slow things down just slightly so that we can get a capture on what's going on here. I'm slightly ahead in the harvester count. He did a pretty standard on this map for Protoss, built a gateway out here so he can probably get another pylon and then block with a single zealot. He's already got his assimilator out, and he's got a second pylon by his base. I haven't scouted him yet, as you can see here, but I'm on my way there. So here I'm getting real close, but I've chosen to do a very quick expansion. I sent this guy out here pretty early and went straight for that because I knew as soon as I got down here, I really knew. But on this map, because it's so large and because I hadn't been scouted yet, I was going to go over and make sure that I got that expansion first. It turned out to work in my favor, as he hasn't even started his first zealot yet. So he built a cybernetics core here. One thing I'd like to note is that this is a really stupid place to build this, especially if you're using it to tech, because while you can block it with a zealot here, you can surround the cybernetics core with other units. And so I go in there, got a good scout, managed to see that second gateway, so I knew it was going ground. At that point, I knew I needed to rush. And so you'll see me pop out a queen in each of these ASAP. I'll get my production up there real quick. And he's in trouble already because he has nothing to harass with. While he is planning on teching, it's not really going to do any good if he can't protect himself. So I did notice his probe here. I wasn't too worried about it because he had just gotten the cybernetics core, and it takes a little while for you to get that warp gate upgrade in there. So he ends up building a pylon down here. Luckily, I've seen this, and I even see it building right now with my Overlord. He's not aware of that, but it's alright. He's going to leave that probe there, and it's going to end up dying here in a second. I do pop out a spine crawler to get some defense going on here. And I'm starting to pump out Zerglings. Once again, the reason that I decided with the Zerglings was because I want to get in there and rush his base as fast as possible. I don't see it yet, but he's building additional ones of these, and he started to pump out a couple of Zealots. He's also just getting that warp gate upgrade, which is going to make my life real hell. So I've got all these Zerglings coming in right now. Could have done a little better and grouped them up, but I did manage to pull them back slightly. The second that I saw that he was there, I immediately did what I told you earlier and started surrounding his cybernetics core with my Zerglings. He wasn't paying a lot of attention, and that's a big fail on his part. As soon as he does notice it, he's going to try to boost this thing up, but it's going to be way too late. I can just keep him busy with these 3 or 4 while I finish off the rest of the cybernetics core, and that's going to cancel off his warp gate buff. It's also going to stop his ability to build anything but zealots at the time. And so I'm going to take these Zerglings and just go at him a little bit. Probably not kill everything. Run around, maybe go kill a couple of his probes. Meanwhile, I'm doing very well in my base. I've been pumping out drones. As you can see, the harvester count is close. I'm Psylocked because I'm a little busy in his base. The better thing to do would be use my hotkeys that I have set up right now. But I'm going to go out, keep harassing him, keep him busy. I do think about taking out the pylon, but I know it's not really going to do a whole lot, so I figured I'll just attack a little bit, fart around, and then get out of there. I do see now he has 6 zealots, and he's probably going to come after me with those. And so for that reason, I'm going to build up a second one of these here in just a second. I've got my queen here. I'm not injecting larva like I should, but I do start picking it up now. As you can see, I'm ahead of him by 6 on the extractor count. I've got 4 lings here, and I just started 2 additional spine crawlers. I've got my queen here, and I do have larva started on both of these. Luckily, being on creep, I don't have the bigger problem. And I've decided I'm going to knock this out, try to take out this destructible rock as soon as possible. I haven't seen his zealots yet. I've got these coming in, and I got a couple other Zerglings. So I'm going to scout him, check that out. He's got 2 more zealots coming in, and he still hasn't rebuilt that cybernetics core that I know of. He's got it in the back there, and he's going to change it into warp cores He's finally getting a forge here, which is it's meh. I probably could have taken those out and interrupted him a little more because he doesn't seem to have any defense, but I figure I'll go in and harass his probes a little bit. So back over here, I've moved these out, spread them out just a little bit, started on a fourth one. I haven't set the rally point on this, which is a stupid thing on me. Usually that's the first thing I do, but I do get my drones there and start on the next thing of gas. I'm going to pump out another gas down here, and I've started upgrading this because I plan to go for hydralisks. So he's coming in here. He gets scared off by my spine crawlers. I do have a couple of zerglings sitting around here. I don't know how many there are. I think there's just one here, but I got a couple back here I could always send, and I did get the speed upgrade. You'll notice zerglings are a little stupid on these destructible blocks. You can move them or rearrange them and get them a little better in there. Sometimes it's worth the effort, other times it's not. So he's got quite a few zealots. He did get put back very, very heavily by not having that. It looks like he's getting a Stargate to possibly tech. It could be a number of things, maybe some anti-air, anything. I didn't notice it yet, and so it again could cause some issues later. It could not. We'll have to see at that point. But I do take this destructible out, and at this point I've got enough minerals that I can send that up there. I started a baneling nest because I knew that he had a lot of zealots, and I was going to send up, there goes the drone, and I got him there for a second to get him over and build that hatchery. I've got pretty good defenses right now. I know he's not going to come at me with a massive air force or anything that's going to pick through those spine crawlers real quick. I put him back pretty far. And again, he's not harvesting very well. He's only got one there and two of these here, so he's kind of being real stupid at this point. He has very few drones, and it's really just a matter of, let's see how big of a force I can build to take him out. If I had massed him with, 36 lings and, 8 banelings right now, I probably could have taken him out. I didn't realize it at the time, and I figured, whatever. So back at the base, I got a Spire started. I figure I'll get a couple of Mutalisks. Wasn't aware that he was going to start building anti-air with these. He starts to do some harassing with it, and for that reason, I don't have an evolution chamber yet, but I'm going to start popping them all in down here. And the reason I build them at my expansion is because I don't plan losing this expansion at all, so I'm not super worried about it. And then I send some zerglings out to all the other expansions I can see. Unfortunately, I didn't check this one, and I won't check it. I'm not too worried about it at this point. He's been put back pretty far, but he does have quite a few zealots, and he's got a couple of centuries, Stargate in there, and I did get a scout on him at that point. For that reason, I have the Hydralisk Den coming in. I do have my other extractor here. I'm going to pop a queen out of this one ASAP. This just came out recently. Kind of spread out a couple of those. I got a creep tumor here. Didn't send it over. It wasn't the smartest move, but it was earlier this morning. So I do have 2 queens of the expansion. Again, not doing very well with the larva. Something I should probably have been working on a little more there. I felt I had the game pretty closely in the bag, though. However, I do build an evolution chamber here. The reason being, I need to upgrade my ground units, and secondarily, I'm going to start building a couple of spore crawlers here. So, let's see what he's got. He comes at me with a Phoenix, and at that point I immediately know I got to pop out a couple of those, get some anti-air defense, because a few of those could cause some real problems. And so I move my queens around. I know that I can always hit them with transfusion if I need to. Got a couple Mutalisks over there to go after him. He's doing a good job of running away. Those little air superiority fighters are kind of a bitch against any sort of air, and he's going to put me Psylocked here for part of the time. This is probably the best time he could have attacked, but he probably wouldn't have done very well. The banelings would have ripped apart his zealots pretty hard. And I probably could have pumped out quite a few zerglings. He has no idea what I have. As you can see, he hasn't built any robotics facility, and so he can't have any observers. It's a pretty common thing in the new Platinum players who are playing